I was sitting at my desk, taking a brief respite to unwind, even though I knew it might not be the wisest decision. Memories of the last time with my lover suddenly flooded my mind, setting a particular mood. As my fingers ran through my hair, I felt myself being drawn back into those sensations, on the brink of something tantalizing and forbidden. But just as I was teetering on the edge of those thoughts, the shrill, persistent ringing of the phone jolted me back to reality. "Mrs. Proctor, there's someone here to see you." The secretary's voice cut through the haze. "Is this about canceling the recording?" she asked, her tone neutral, almost indifferent. "No, absolutely not," I replied, trying to push aside the lingering thoughts and focus. "But she insists it's urgent. Should I send her in?" "Give me a minute," I muttered, attempting to regain composure. "Send her in. I'll be right there." The door creaked open a few moments later, and a woman entered. She was strikingly elegant, her presence commanding the room without effort. Everything about her screamed poise, from the way her perfectly tailored outfit draped over her frame to the quiet confidence in her every movement. She could easily have caught my attention on any other day, had I been in the mood for that sort of thing. "Mrs. Proctor." Her voice was smooth, calm, but there was an underlying firmness that caught my attention. "Yes," I responded, trying to keep my composure. "What is it?" She didn't give me her name, a deliberate choice, I assumed. Her gaze was piercing, calculating, as she spoke. "I'm the woman who'll be taking out your trash." I raised an eyebrow, momentarily stunned by her words. "I don't think I understand," I said, my confusion mixing with a sense of unease. She smiled, but it wasn't a warm smile. It was sharp, almost predatory. "It depends on how you define trash, Mrs. Proctor. I'm the one who will clean up what you're about to discard. I'm the one who will comfort your husband once you've thrown him away." My heart skipped a beat as her words cut through the air, icy and final. I was speechless for a moment, my mind racing to understand the meaning behind them. "What are you talking about?" I managed to say, my voice trembling with disbelief. "I love my husband. I haven't done anything to betray him." She ignored my protests, her expression unfazed. "This isn't about love, Mrs. Proctor. I'm here to show your husband the proof of your affair." I felt the world spin around me. "You're insane," I whispered, my voice shaking with panic. "I haven't done anything." Her calm demeanor never wavered. "He's been suspicious for a while, but don't worry. I've got exactly what he needs to see. It won't come as a shock to him." Before I could respond, she dropped an envelope on my desk, its presence heavy with the weight of impending truth. "This is the proof you're denying exists," she said, her voice cool, almost mocking. "Photos." My body froze as I stared at the envelope. I didn't need to open it to know that my worst fear had just materialized. Slowly, my hand reached for it, trembling as I unfolded the images inside. My blood ran cold. The pictures were undeniably clear, too clear. There was no escaping the truth, a truth I couldn't deny, no matter how hard I tried. "How did you get these?" I asked, my voice barely above a whisper, panic setting in. Her smile was knowing, almost smug. "Your lover wasn't as discreet as you thought. He was bragging about his affair with a married woman at a bar, and one of his friends overheard. After a few drinks, he spilled everything. I made him show me the proof. 3 days later, he handed it over." I was struggling to keep my composure. "No," I said, the word coming out more like a plea. "I never slept with him. He's mistaken." She cut me off, her voice hard as ice. "He only showed me a report on sexually transmitted diseases," she said with a cruel smirk, as if to say, "Do you think that scandal matters to me?" She went on, almost as though she were savoring the moment. "I've always been interested in your husband. We've had lunch together nearly every day. Trevor confided in me about his worries, about his thoughts on leaving you. I've been gathering information for him. The real question isn't if he'll leave, but when." I felt my stomach twist. How could this be happening? Trevor and I were fine. We were happy. Or at least I thought we were. I had to say something, to defend myself, to stop this nightmare before it spiraled any further. "No," I whispered again, my heart racing, the sound of my own thoughts drowning out everything else. This isn't true. Trevor and I were fine. We're happy. But the woman didn't budge. Her smile remained cold, knowing, as though she had already won. And in that moment, it felt like she had. She leaned forward, a mocking glint in her eyes, and spoke with an almost amused tone. Happy couples always cheat, don't they? Let me tell you how this one went down. Okay, tell me, I said, my voice trembling, though I tried to sound defiant. Her smile widened, as if she were savoring the moment. Your husband noticed the change in you, she continued, her voice smooth and deliberate. He said you seemed distant lately, like you were preoccupied with someone or something else. The intimacy between the two of you started to fade, and when you did meet, let's just say it wasn't as satisfying as it used to be. I shook my head vigorously, desperate to deny her words. That's not true. Trevor and I are great. I always show him how much I enjoy being with him. Her gaze remained steady, unwavering. Your words won't change his mind, she said, her tone cold. Your actions already told him everything he needed to know. Did you both know that he's aware of your affair? I wish I had, I stammered, trying to defend myself, my words faltering. But he stuck to his principles and never crossed that line with me, despite what you think I did. What are you talking about? I asked, panic creeping into my voice. Divorce? What divorce? The divorce I've already prepared for him, she said, her eyes gleaming with satisfaction. I expected Trevor to be confused, so I took the initiative. I had my lawyer prepare all the papers. No, this can't be happening, I gasped, my mind spinning with disbelief. No, please no. She leaned in slightly, her voice dripping with cold certainty. Yes, I want to discuss how we can settle this quickly. Make sure it doesn't drag on. But let's be honest here. What exactly do you think you'll get from this divorce? I could feel my heart sink, my emotions rising into a storm of panic and denial. You're just manipulating me. There's no way Trevor will divorce me. He loves me. And despite all my mistakes, I love him too. I'll apologize. I'll promise not to cheat again. And he'll forgive me. We'll work through this. We'll have a second chance. She laughed, a harsh sound that cut through my desperation. Do you really think he'll forgive you after seeing these photos? Her voice dripped with sarcasm. Every time he looks at you, all he'll see is that image of you with another man. The truth will haunt him. It'll make him sick to his stomach. My throat tightened as I fought to hold back tears. Dana, if you don't cooperate, I will make your life a living hell, she said, her smile almost cruel. I trust Trevor, I shot back, the words coming out with a tremor of frustration. He's kind, he's forgiving, and he's not vindictive. She interrupted me with a bitter laugh. Oh, how lucky you are, she said mockingly. It's no wonder you messed this up. Her expression turned cold, almost predatory. Let me show you what I'm capable of, she said, sliding a folder across the desk. I've got letters prepared for your parents, your neighbors, everyone who works here, even your religious leaders. Imagine their faces when they see all of this. Can you? My heart sank. I was caught, trapped in a nightmare. You're blackmailing me, I whispered, the weight of it crashing down on me. I could lose everything, my husband, my job. She gave me a flat, emotionless look. Cooperate, she said. You'll need to keep working after the divorce, you know. Your lover won't be much help when his wife finds out about you. Desperate much? My stomach twisted, and I blurted, You're lying. He's not married. I've seen his apartment. Her eyes met mine, cold and unyielding. That's where he meets women. I have prior experience in these matters, and I possess comprehensive information regarding his wife. You're welcome to verify it yourself. I was reeling, feeling like the world was crumbling beneath me. I need time to think, I said, my voice shaking as I struggled to maintain my composure. Please give me 2 days. She didn't respond immediately. Instead, she slid another folder across the desk, a draft of the divorce agreement. I've been reasonable, considering your conduct. Trevor is unlikely to want anything too severe, despite the distress you've caused him. I leaned back in my chair, my mind racing, trying to process everything. Why was she so fixated on Trevor? What did she want from this? She spoke again, as if reading my thoughts. I have all the necessary information, she said, her tone detached, almost clinical. Yet Trevor possesses qualities that I hold in high regard. He embodies everything I stand for. It's no wonder he caught your attention in the first place. I could barely breathe as I stared at her, trying to understand why everything was falling apart, why she was doing this, and why it had to happen this way. Thanks for waiting, she added, her voice light, as if she were satisfied with the damage she'd done. I'll see you again. Goodbye.